Let's start in the United States, where President Joe Biden has appointed another Nigerian into his cabinet. Nigerian-born Eno Titilayo Ebong was appointed the acting director of the U.S. Trade and Development Agency. Ms. Ebong has served in different capacities as general counsel, deputy director, and chief operating officer at the agency for 15 years. From there, she moved to serve as the head of strategic partnership at the Milken Center for Advancing the American Dream. Now, with her new role, she's expected to lead the agency in partnering with the country's private sector to develop sustainable infrastructure and foster economic growth in emerging economies. This is a huge deal for Nigeria at this point. This is the fourth Nigerian that President Joe Biden has appointed into his cabinet. Only the other day we talked about Adewale Wali. We call him Wali, but his name is Adewale Adeyemo, who Joe Biden appointed as the Assistant Secretary of Treasury. We also had a COVID-19 policy advisor, Osaremen Okolo, and we had Fumi, who is the Associate White House Counsel. Yes, I knew you were going to help me out with that name. We had Fumi just recently appointed as the Associate White House Counsel, and now we have Ms. Titilayo. We are so excited that, there's this whole inclusiveness in Joe Biden's cabinet, and Nigerians are taking the lead.
Indeed. I mean, congratulations are in order. I can't say it enough that Nigerians, they shine bright, like the president said during the 60th anniversary, like diamonds all over the world. But I'd like to add that especially when given the right environment, we've seen that over time and time again. This is a familiar terrain for her. She's been in the agency, like you rightly said, since 2004. So there's no doubt that she will deliver. She grew up in Lagos, we heard, so she's very in touch with her roots. And she's also inspired to work in the civil service by her father, who also worked in the Nigerian civil service as the PAM secretary at the Ministry of Economic Development and Reconstruction. So I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Absolutely.
I'm happy for her, and I wish her the best of luck.
Yes.
Dr. Well, I like the way we are excited all the time when persons with Nigerian ancestry connection are given appointments. But I keep making the point that do they identify as Nigerians? They do well in the United States because they are also, again, American citizens, and they've been chosen on the basis of their distinction. But I guess, of course, they will not deny their heritage, where they come from. Now, this particular appointment is very instructive at many levels. One, this is again another demonstration of the diversity of President Joe Biden's team. He has perhaps the most diverse team that we have seen in recent times within the American presidency. He has used, those positions to make America look inclusive. And that, again, is a throwback, I guess, a response to the kind of government that you had in the United States under President Donald Trump. Now, yes, I just want to make the point that she's not new to the U.S. Trade Development Agency. She was a deputy director there. She rose to become the chief operating officer. So she knows the territory very well. What does that agency, what does it do? It promotes American jobs, American goods, American services. And when she was chief operating officer, she was able to set up, units across the world in about 30 countries with about 125 experts reporting directly to her. And under her watch, we were told that in terms of return on investments, she did much better than the previous tenure. She left as chief operating officer, and she went on to become the executive leader at the